So funny story. Was it 2017, 2016? I was running GB3 weightlifting, right? So GB3 weightlifting was going, we had all made it to the American Open. I think I had 5, 6 lifters, and I ended up having a heavy weightlifter with me, and he didn't cut weight the proper way when I was asking him to. So we ended up having to cut weight probably. The last week was a really devastating week for him as a lifter because we had to cut him down by I think like 7, 8 kilos, which is a lot of weight. That's almost 20 pounds if you think about it. And we did it, but at that time and moment, I never really truly dug into what conditioning and the aerobic system can do for us. And realistically, you were training with me under that time period as well in 2016. And a lot of the stuff was very power-based and aerobic-based, and I never really touched the aerobic side of the house. So what we ended up seeing was during competitions, he wasn't able to recover fully between his attempts. So in weightlifting, you get 6 lifts. You get 3 in the snatch, 3 in the clean and jerk, and you get to have rest period between them. But you're lifting at maximal loads, anywhere between 90% and higher from an opening lift to the third lift in the snatch or clean and jerk. So what I ended up learning over time, and this is what I ended up figuring out, was when I got into ultra endurance racing and I got into understanding how to move for very long periods, and I mean 24 hours, 35 hours, I ended up realizing what the aerobic system can do for us. And what I ended up focusing on was looking at how to build low aerobic conditioning, meaning I am emphasizing how the aerobic system utilizes oxygen so that you can then have the power output energy to hit those 90% to 100% maxes over a repetitive time as needed, right? So for example, in a weightlifting competition, we'll use this, we'll go back to my heavyweight lifter. He made weight, we went out there. His normal lifts were awesome. I mean, he was snatching 130 kilos, he was clean and jerking 160, but when we cut him down by 15 to 16, 17 pounds, what we saw was we lost that strength in such a short time period. So it ended up having us to go ahead and adjust, obviously, attempts. But since we put his body into such a high stress state, his system wasn't aerobically fit enough to help him recover between attempts. So what ends up happening is when we go and increase the aerobic system in the cardio side of the house, or however you want to look at it, I end up promoting really good heart health, meaning that stroke volume, the electrical pulse and the currents inside the heart generate more blood, more energy, more oxygen to the body as a whole and the mind. So then I can allow for you to recover between attempts to go back there and hit that 95%, that 100%. So for example, if I have a conditioned lifter, right, where this should be attempted and focused on under the GPP block or the accumulation block of again, we're not doing 60, 90 minute, 2-hour sessions. No, you're working 30, 45 minute sessions, which yourself has been doing. Right. It allows for me then to help you recover faster between those higher percentage lifts. So when we are in a meet and you go up and do your opening lift, and then all of a sudden now you had 4 lifters ahead of you. Now it's switched, knowing you have 2 lifters ahead of you. Now it went from a 6-minute wait down to a 3-minute wait. I know that you can recover fully because we've improved overall aerobic fitness and conditioning to allow for you to recover fast enough to get back to you hitting the next attempt. So if I was to take my heavy lifter in 2016 at the American Open, and I was to take someone like you, right, where you've competed at nationals before, and when I say you, it's Eric Duenas, when you've competed at university nationals and you've done those things and you know what it feels like, and people who are going to be watching this knows what it feels like to hit a heavy second attempt after hitting their first one. The nerves are high, the adrenaline's firing, your mind's all over the place, and now you have to recover fast enough to get back out and lift the second attempt and make it look just as good, or you have to make the lift because you don't want to bomb out. Having the ability to have an efficient aerobic system as a weightlifter or as a power lifter or as a strength athlete in general allows for you to recover fast enough so you can maintain the same strength output or power output over time. Now, can we go down the rabbit hole about what the oxygen does from a blood saturation standpoint, and how the more blood volume and the more red blood cells and white blood cells we get into our system makes us recover faster? Sure, but at the end of the day, being able to promote a really good cardiovascular system, improving heart health in strength athletes only increases their longevity, meaning that they're less at risk to get injured. They're less at risk at getting cardiovascular diseases, because we know that a lot of high-level weightlifters and powerlifters and strength athletes are not in the best shape they would want to be, because they're focusing on performance, and sometimes wellness goes out of the way and longevity goes out of the way. So by me applying aerobic fitness to your training program, you're still lifting 3 days a week. You might do 2 days of conditioning work. It then allows me to triangulate, right, everything. So when it does get to that point, when it's time to get ready for a peak block or a phase, when I have you doing repeats for 6 to 8 sets, 4 to 6 sets at 85 all the way up to 95% for doubles and singles, 2-minute rest, 3-minute rest between, you're getting full recovery. So the reason why I implement low aerobic conditioning training, meaning I keep the heart rate below 150 to 145. Sometimes I even ask you guys to keep it below 130 depending on how aerobically deficient someone is. So I know there's a lot to unpack there, but the main reason why I give weightlifters conditioning training is to improve overall cardiovascular fitness, improve heart health, and give you the tools and the ability to go ahead and realistically not just be an asset on the platform, but also be an asset in real life.